Hello, in this video I'm going to be assembling the pin bushing circlip assembly, and the main learning objective in this video is to learn how to insert and derive new components and also understand the joints function. The main components in this assembly are the pin, the bushing and the pin circlip, and we're going to be putting them together by using the joints function, which we will learn very soon. So without further ado, let's get started. Just as normal, you're going to save your workspace. So instead of saving it into separate components, I'm now going to save it into assemblies. And I'm going to rename this as pin bushing circlip assembly. Just like that. I'm going to save that and then toggle my origin visibility. And now I can get started by assembling everything together. So we're going to move our mouse up to the top left, not the top left, but above the assembly category. And then you're going to select the insert component icon. You're going to left click that. And then you'll get all of the different kind of files that you have created over the past few weeks. And then you're going to select the pin. You're going to left click insert. And then that model will then appear in your virtual workspace. And now we can leave it in the origin. So I'm going to left click OK. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing, but this time dragging in a different component. And this is going to be the bushing. So I'm going to go back up into insert component, select that, left click. Then I'm going to find bushing, which is right here. Left click on insert again. And as we can see, it's now appeared just like that. So I'm going to left click OK. And now I need to join this component onto this one right here. Now you can see that the first component you insert, you can't actually move. And that's because you have grounded it as a parent, whereas this one can move. So we're going to be joining this component onto our pin. So to do that, we're going to move up into the joints function, left click that, and then just hover our mouse over where roughly we want to select. So for example, I want to select this middle section of the bushing. So I'm going to left click the face, and then move my mouse over to roughly this middle section here. So I'm going to click that, and then do the exact same thing for our pin. So once again, select the face, and then select this center point here. When I click that, the bushing is going to kind of lock on to the pin, and it's going to be a very nice fit. We don't need to move it anymore, so we can just left click OK. And by doing that, I can no longer move anything because the bushing is fixed to the parent, which cannot move itself. So now let's start moving into now let's start connecting our circlips. So we're going to go into insert component and find the pin circlip. So that's this one right here. We're going to left click insert again. Then we're going to just left click and drag out the circlip right here. And you're going to click OK. Now, just like with the bushing, we're going to go into joint, left click that. Then we need to use kind of the center point of this arc on the outside as almost as our datum. So I'm going to left click one of these edges. As long as it's not the bottom of the chamfer edge, it's got to be the top. We can then click that. And then what we're then going to do is then select one of the interior chamfer edges. So I'm going to select this one right here, left clicking. And as you can see, it locks on. But you're seeing that the two components are now intersecting with each other, which isn't great. And while you could just move this, there's actually a lot. There's an option that is a lot easier, and that's just by clicking the flip button right here in the joint toolbox. So when I left click this, as you can see, it's flipped it, and now it fits very nicely. So when you left click OK, that is now joint and ready to go. Now we've got to do that one more time. So again, left click insert component, find the pin circlip again, left click insert, and then just drag this out over here and do the exact same thing. Going over into joint, left click, then left click the top chamfer edge, then the interior chamfer edge for the pin. And for that one, as you can see, it's locked on very nicely. However, one of the things you might see is that the pin circlip edge kind of over here is different to the one on the other side. So how can we change this? This little icon here with the circle and a bit of an arc, if you left click and hold it, you can actually then rotate it around its origin axis. And because it's on the opposite side, we can just type in 90. Oh, was it the opposite side? It was over here. Oh yeah, so it was already set to 270 degrees. So if we just type in 90 degrees, it's locked it on very nicely, and I can click OK. Now, if you want to edit the joint, say you wanted to like change the position or maybe add a different motion feature onto it, you can just right click the joints function in your timeline, or even go up into relationships in your browser and then select each of the joints. You can edit the joint and then you can move it and edit it as such. In regards to motions though, you don't need to do this, but you can go up into motion and then have a look at all of the different types of motions that Fusion 360 has to offer. The one we're using today is rigid, which is automatically selected as the default. But say you wanted to revolve around the axis, you can see here now that Fusion 360 is using its motion limits to revolve the circlip around the x-axis. But once again, as I said, we don't need that. We can just leave that on rigid. And as you can see, it's done a little animation there of it not being able to move. So I can left click OK. And just like that, the pin bushing circlip assembly is done.